Let's kickstart market fatafat then and get you a countdown of the 30 stocks we're watching out for. Let's introduce all of our research analysts as well as Sameer Chauhan, Kunal Bothra who join in on the show. Vivek, over to you first. Axis Bank is the big newsmaker. Friday today as well. We're seeing a reaction come by on the stock price. What was the verdict after the Q2 numbers?
Mubina, Axis Bank, Street has completely changed its perception as far as this particular name is concerned. They believe Axis Bank, given the fact that the company has surprised quite positively as far as the pre-provisioning operating profits were concerned. Also, slippages were something that came in much below what the Street was anticipating. What brokerages are now saying is that it's ripe for a re-rating. All of them have an overweight or a buy stance on this particular name, and no wonder if you're looking at the stock today, quite strong despite the fact that markets are cooling off quite a little bit.
And Axis Bank is higher by 2.7%. Kunal, over to you then. Tata Steel is something that you have on your radar. Why is that?
Most of the metal stocks are doing pretty well today. They are bucking the trend. Tata Steel, on the monthly charts, I think is now forming a durable base around this 540 mark. Now on the daily patterns, there are some inverse and shoulder patterns getting formed for Tata Steel. But I think the key is the long-term charts or the monthly charts for Tata Steel, a double bottom breakout and then a retest of that bottom at that 540 mark. I believe that the stock could be bottom to at current levels. 600 plus is the near-term target which I'm eyeing on the stock. Stop loss at 540.
Okay, another very exciting set of numbers did come in from RK Forgings. Currently a very strong growth on the top line and bottom line.
Definitely, on all counts, it's been a very strong set of numbers, Mubina. Sales have grown nearly 37%. Profits have grown nearly 40%. EBITDA has grown 50%. Margins have expanded nearly 200 basis points as well. So, on all counts, they've managed to deliver, and it's also very surprising because auto ancillary space has been under pressure for some time now, and this one is also dependent to a large extent on its exports, and we know how the global market is also panning out. So despite that, good set of numbers is something that's keeping it higher in trade. However, it has spared some of those gains.
Well, another set of strong numbers has come in from Gujarat Alkali, a small cap company that we don't talk about very often. But yeah, similar strong growth of close to 30% on the bottom line as well as the top line. Revenues have grown 30% year on year at 772 crore rupees. Profits are higher by 64% at 174 crore rupees. And the margins too are expanded by 900 basis points from 27% to 36%. So Gujarat Alkalis, well, it's more or less flatline now, but it was definitely come off from the day's high of 609. Siddharth, NIIT Tech, Midcap IT continues to be on your radar?
Well, yes, stock is consolidating in a range of 1200 to 1250, but today, moving along with price action within that range, we are also seeing a decent amount of formation of long positions. So quite possible that there is an anticipation by some of the traders that that range will breach on the upside. So watch out for this zone of 1200 on the lower side and 1250 on the higher side.
Okay, so that's the next stock, NIIT Tech. Sameer, you have McDowell's on your radar. It's hovering near the 200 daily moving average.
Yes, recently, we witnessed a V-shaped recovery in this counter, from the levels of 450, 460. The stock has been giving, massive recovery. Now, since last 3 days, the stock has been hovering around its 200-day moving average, which has been acting some bit of hurdle. So we would expect, the stock to give some kind of profit booking after such a massive rally. But on the low side, 600, 580 would act as a very strong support. So those who have missed this rally, they can, rather use this dip towards 580 to buy into this stock.
Okay, more corporate earnings. JSW Energy has delivered its numbers. Top line growth looks pretty impressive at 19%, coming in at 2,431 crore rupees. But the margins have majorly disappointed. You could attribute it to higher input costs, and that is something that's caused the margins to slip from 43% to 36.2%, and the profit on account of that as well, has just been at about 302 crore rupees, a very, very minor uptick of approximately 1.5% from the corresponding quarter. So that's of course JSW Energy.
As we move to a new Samvat, it is important for us to leave the baggage of uncertainty and fear behind us. It is equally important to stay optimistic, believe in yourself for a better and a brighter future. Here's wishing everyone a Sahi Diwali and a safe Diwali. From me, Nikunj Dalmia at ET Now.
Okay, and keeping it with stock-specific action, take a look at future retail. More M&A activity in the retail space. This time around, it looks like Amazon is set to acquire a minority stake in future retail. It's going to be by Amazon's investment arm, and it's pegged at about 2,500 crore rupees. The stock price, however, has slipped from its opening highs of 510 to just about 495 rupees. Vivek, over to you for Hindalco. Results over there was a mixed bag, and you do have brokerages as well that are a bit circumspect.
Well, absolutely right. Circumspect is the word where how most of the brokerages are now treating Hindalco. Remember, second quarter was an inline quarter. Of course, if you're taking into account Utkal Alumina as well. But what is CLSA saying? CLSA is saying that most of the benefits in terms of the rupee depreciation. Remember, Hindalco actually benefits from the rupee depreciation. Spreads increase as far as the company is concerned. But what they're saying is that now that the volume ramp up is being priced in by the street already, FY22 onwards is where most of the follow-up or most of the incremental benefits will start coming in as far as Hindalco is concerned. On the back of that, they've retained their underperformed stance, but given the fact that Utkal has outperformed, they've actually tweaked their EPS estimates much higher, on the back of which, if you're looking at the stock today, holding quite steady.
Okay, that's Hindalco for you. Set of numbers that were a bit okay if the stock is just higher by 0.6%. Siddharth, BML today is gaining very smartly, a little over 2.5% higher.
Not just today, Mubina. In fact, last 3-4 trading sessions, there has been, price volume breakouts or, huge activity taking place in cash market. Today also, a lot of volumes in cash, but more than that, you are seeing continuation of that price traction, also formation of long positions, and that's why the stock is in the list.
I checked there, Rohit said.
So that's BEML. Moving on, the next stock, Aditya Birla Fashion. Kunal, we don't talk about it very often, so what's happening today in the stock?
Stock is, it's a liquid mid-cap name. The last 3 days we've seen, including today, some extremely high volume accumulation, and then you look at the price action, it's at a, verge of a swing breakout, a double bottom kind of a breakout, also visible. The stock is comfortably above its 250 DMA, and looking at the volume patterns and the way the stock is nearing this big breakout on the, weekly charts as well as on the daily time frame, I believe the stock could head higher from current levels. So ABFRL, that's the code. It should be looked at as a buy call. 225 could be a near-term target, and stop loss could be placed at 185.
More earnings then. Endurance Technologies as well has delivered its numbers. It looks like an okayish set from the margin front. Revenues have grown 23%, no doubt, so that's a positive. The profits as well have managed to grow 26% on account of the EBITDA growing 22%. And the margins have just stayed where they are, at about 14.5%. So nothing great over there. But I think it's interesting to note that the top line growth of 20% has come in pretty strong. So that is something that one should focus their attention on. The stock price, however, again, just like most of the stocks has ebbed off from the day's high. Karanya, another retail stock in focus, V-Mart again, but this time around the company has delivered a loss.
Yes, it's not just a loss, but a loss on the operational front also. So they've the numbers that they have delivered are very weak. Loss of 4 crores, EBITDA loss of also nearly 4 crore rupees. Sales, however, have grown 8.5%. Management did sound off the fact that they did saw a slowdown because of the postponement of the festive season in the second quarter to the third quarter. That is something that has really hit them in the quarter gone by, and they do expect a good pickup in times to come.
Okay, moving on, we still have some auto numbers coming in. This time it's the US Class 8 sales truck. Vivek, what's the impact that's having on Bharat Forge?
Well, Bharat Forge also came out with its numbers. Numbers were in line and the commentary was quite strong. In fact, if you're looking at the October sales truck numbers as well, it's up almost 20% on a year-on-year basis, and even sequentially it's marginally higher. What is more encouraging is the fact that it's staying above the 40,000 units per month mark. But the one thing that Nomura is saying at this point of time is that October is seasonally a strong quarter. They've said that we'll hold on for a couple of months more till we decide to actually go ahead and upgrade the stock. So at this point of time, a lot of profit booking is seen as far as Bharat Forge is concerned.